What's up? What's up, fam? How y'all doing today, man? Just quick coming at you back with another episode of the Sports Pub. I want to welcome everybody in here. We appreciate you guys still checking us out and supporting us. We really appreciate it. As usual, I got the usual suspects, my running buddies, man. I got Willie Thrill Brown. What's going on with you, Thrill?
What's happening, y'all? Hey, y'all, I'm Willie Brown, and these are the Pips.
I got my man, Gabe, GL Harris. What's up, Gabe? How you doing, baby?
What's good with your fam? How is everything going up your way?
Everything good, bro. And then last but not least, we got the young fella, Napoleon Giff. What's going on with you, bro?
What's going on, man? Another Thursday, another show with the fellas.
Yes, sir.
Hey, before we get started, I want to ask Gladys Knight, where's my money?
Yes, sir.
First of all, I got a contract between me and you that say you do what I say, shut the hell up, don't say nothing else to me.
And my office hours are from
another
9 to 5.
On this stage until I get my money.
Yeah.
They said not another shoe doop, not another doo-wop, nothing.
Nothing.
All right, so I want to start with this, man. I think I mentioned it on several occasions during the broadcast that I'm a youth sports coach. I love coaching kids. I love mentoring them and interacting with them and just getting to know them. And that's just one of my passions. I've coached my son for several years, and I love the interactions I have with the other kids. The one thing about youth sports that bothers me, though, is how serious a lot of people take it. I think they take it a little bit too far. And what I mean by that is when I'm coaching a child, when I'm coaching a kid, I'm teaching him the fundamentals of the game. But not only that, I'm teaching him how to love the sport that he's playing. I get it. Everyone is in this for a different reason. Some parents are in this because they want their child to excel and get to the next level. And I respect that. I got nothing against that. But I think that sometimes it goes a little bit too far. I'm pretty sure you guys have watched Friday Night Tykes, the Warriors of Liberty City, shows like that. They kind of put the spotlight on these youth football, these superior youth football programs in various parts of the country, particularly Texas and Florida. But I want to bring your attention to something real quick. I'm going to roll off some names for you. You let me know if you've ever heard of them. Marcus Johnson, Caleb Holt, Malik Simius, Jermel Thomas, Devin Houston. You're not going to know who those names are. I'm going to tell you who they are. A couple of years ago, they were the top 5 6th grade basketball players in the country, according to one of the websites online. My question is for you fellas, and Gabe, I know you're in the coaching as well, with your child, with your son, and you're in the youth sports. My question for you is, how young is too young? I think it's ridiculous that we're rating kids in the 5th, 6th, 7th grades. A couple of years ago, USC or one of these big time schools gave a scholarship or promised a scholarship to a kid that was like in the 3rd or 4th grade. And I think that's ridiculous. I mean, my question is, how young is too young?
Well, let me say, yeah, I do believe that we are going into a period that it's not a good look. It's not a good look, really, with youth sports. And I say that because even here in Georgia, we just had a kid that's in the 8th grade. I've played against him. I've coached against him. He has
you played against him?
We played. My team played against his team. And
I was about to say, what you doing playing the 8th grade? I think you bust your ass.
My bad. My team that I was coaching played against him, and he has a UGA offer, and he is good. I give him that. He's a great athlete, and he's probably going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the nation by the time he gets to his senior year. But my thing is, as an 8th grader, it's too soon to be offering this kid a college scholarship. And I think they do that because it's a competition. You want to be the first. You want to be the first to offer to say, hey, if a kid has any inclination that he wants to play for you, and then somebody else comes in and says, okay, we want to offer, which is going to happen. He's going to get multiple offers, Division I offers. Every school in the SEC is probably going to at some point offer him. But Georgia's his home state. Me and Willie talk about it all the time. You got to lock up your home talent.
Yeah.
So by Georgia offering first, if he has any admiration for UGA, he can look back and say, you know what? Hey, they've been with me the whole time. Now, Georgia doesn't have to honor that because it's just a verbal offer.
Commitment, yeah.
Yeah, nothing has been written. Now, it would be a different thing if Georgia was to say, here's the letter of intent, go ahead and sign it, and he's not even in high school yet. That's a different thing. But an offer is nothing but that. It's just a verbal communication, say, hey, we like what we see at this point in your career. If you continue to progress, because they can pull that offer at any time. If you continue to progress, you got a spot at the University of Georgia.
But Gabe, but that's kind of my point. That puts a lot of pressure on that kid to keep performing at a high level. Okay, and to piggyback off of what you just said, I looked up the 2 top 7th grade football players in Georgia because I'm from Georgia, so that kind of piqued my interest. And the top 2 players that I saw on that website was a running back by the name of Harlan Diamond and a quarterback by the name of Chris Martin. Okay. Mm-hmm. And they were ranked the 2 of the top 7th graders in the entire country, not just Georgia, but the entire country. So I guess my point is, when we grew up, okay, and again, if this doesn't apply, but when we grew up, we played football, basketball, baseball. We play all the sports. And I'm not saying these kids aren't, but guess what? When you give that kid a verbal commitment or some sort of promise that, we'll honor this scholarship, if he's got to have to, not only is he going to have to maintain his grades, which, I'm quite sure most of them will do anyway, but you got to maintain or exceed that level of play, because guess what? In 7th grade, you're still maturing. Your body's still maturing. You're still growing. And what happens if you stop growing in the 8th grade, but everybody else gets bigger and taller and stronger and faster and whatever and better? Okay, now this kid's heart's ripped out because what he thought was obviously it was a verbal commitment, but what he thought was a promise, now it turns out he's not going to be good enough. I think that puts way too much pressure on them kids, man. And that's what I mean by how young is too young to be doing this. So what you think, Thrill?
I hear what you're saying, and I absolutely agree. But the flip side of that is you got to worry about the home front too. I think that's on the parents at that same time to keep that kid grounded and to make sure that you explain to him, just like you guys said, hey man, this is just a verbal offer. There's not putting pen to paper. You still got work to do. You still got to honor your commitment to yourself and to your teams. But I do agree that does put pressure on that young man or that young woman for that. And now the elementary school is too early, but
yeah, it's too early.
Starting to look at them dudes around the 8th or 9th grade, I don't have too much of a problem with that.
No, I agree. Around that age, got no problem with it. But when you're talking about 6 and
that's
5th,
that's too young.
When you're talking about 5th, 6th, and 7th graders, man, that's too young.
I'll take you even back. And I know you and Gabe will remember. When I first heard of Kenny Anderson, Kenny Anderson was in the 6th grade, and they did that Sports Illustrated on him, talking about he was the best point guard, best 6th grade point guard in New York. Now, Kenny Anderson ended up being great, but I agree with what you're saying, man. 6th grade, that's a lot. Then you also have to look at. Go ahead, bro.
No, but Thrill, what I'm saying is, you're right. You're absolutely right. I remember Ken Anderson when I was growing up and hearing about Ken Anderson. I remember hearing about Sebastian Telfair out of when he was out of Long Island. How when he was hooping, how young he was. My point is, you got recruiting sites, websites. You got recruiting services that are following these kids around, and they're grading them and they're rating them based on their ability in the 5th, 6th grade level. I mean, I would throw 7th in there too, but because even the 7th grade, I'm gonna throw that in there. I think that's just too young. And like with AAU basketball, these kids are playing year round. They're playing year round. They're not, and you get and for every Zion Williams, for every John Morant that play AAU, for every LeBron James, okay, you're gonna have a ton of kids that are playing AAU ball that nobody's ever going to ever hear about, okay, because they burned out because all they were doing was playing basketball year round. And I just think that it's too much.
I can't argue with you, bro. I can't argue with you. And at the 6th grade, you're not mature enough to handle that type of press clippings being written about you.
Yeah.
There's probably 2 kids that think that they just as good as him who at home crying because they didn't get rated like that. And I agree with you. It's too much.
Yeah, Giff, you a young man. What you think, man?
Yeah, you just out of the 6th grade.
I'll say this. The only reason this type of stuff exists is because there's a market for it. Like somebody out there wants to consume this. Somebody wants to entertain this. My preference personally, I don't think no kid should be ranked or quote unquote evaluated until after their freshman year of high school. Because I mean, you playing against kids 6th, 7th, 8th grade, those kids that you playing against that you might be dominating, some of those kids may have a late growth spurt. And you might be at a point where you bigger or more physically dominant than they are, but you in middle school. Like you really ain't doing no weight training, you really ain't doing anything. We just going off eyeball tests. I feel like their freshman year, after their freshman year is the best time to do it. And getting there early, that's neither here nor there because Jadeveon Clowney went to South Carolina, but he said Georgia Tech was the first school to offer him in the 9th grade. He wasn't going nowhere near Georgia Tech, though. So,
no, I understand that. But like Gabe said, Gabe mentioned it earlier. Gabe said, who's going to get the jump on these kids? Okay, based on their potential.
If you think about it, it's all it is who's going to be the first, because nobody wants to be left in the cold. Nobody wants to miss out on a kid that could be a program changer.
Yeah.
Everything.
And there's no skin loss in me offering, and I don't lose any skin if I offer a 6th grader.
No, you're not.
Not at all. None at all.
No, you don't.
You lose nothing. And see, the thing is this: everything now is based off of potential. Everything is based off potential. We see it all the time. And I just saw it this past year. The number 1 quarterback in Georgia had offers from South Carolina, UGA, other schools.
Right.
He gets beat in the playoffs by an athlete who is head and shoulders above him. Head and shoulders. But he was a late bloomer. Carried his team to the state title and got passed over by a lot of schools. Had the measurables. Size, height, speed, arm strength. But he got passed over. So you try to get into the program, you try to get into that database, that recruiting database as early as you can, because you don't want to miss out. You want your name to be out there. You want to make sure that mothers know who you are. And now, like you said, Quick, it's your problem. It's your the pressure is on you to maintain that level of play.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence is one of them. I saw that kid when he was a freshman in high school. And we say it every time we see him play. That kid is Sunday ready.
Yeah.
So he was able to maintain that level of growth, maintain that level of maturity. He had a good support base behind him. So he's going to be the number 1 pick. It's going to be millions of dollars in his bank account in just a few months. Who's to say?
Yeah.
Who's to say that ain't the way to go. If Willie Jr. shows promise on that basketball court, Willie Sr. finna start, hey, we finna hit it, baby. We
Campaign it, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Yeah.
Any camp I can get you into to get you exposure at an early age is going to be beneficial for you later on down the road.
Okay, so with that being said,
like Giff said, there's a market for it.
Right,
okay,
right.
so with that being said, you said getting the exposure. What do y'all think about the Julian Newmans and how LeVar Ball handled the situation?
LeVar Ball, he handled the situation. You're going to have some folks to say, oh, he's a father, he's promoting his kids. And I get that. And there's nothing wrong with promoting your kids. I think, me personally, he could have done it without all the side antics, all the finger pointing, me, getting himself in front of the camera. If it was all about his sons, I think he could have still done that by getting them to the camps. And then, if somebody asks him a question, him being honest, hey, I think my son is the #1 player in the nation. I think my son is a first-round draft pick. And then let that go. Let it be.
Right.
But he all on talk shows and on
self-promotion.
Yeah. Now, I got the big baller brand coming out. I mean, that's where I kind of drew the line with that dude. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he got 2 kids in the NBA playing at a high level. And if it wasn't for that situation with the shoplifting, I think that third kid probably would have matured enough at UCLA to get some legit consideration.
I don't know. He ain't that good, but I understand what you're saying.
I disagree with what you're saying there. He is the most natural scorer out of the 3. He just lost the genetics. He just lost the genetics lottery.
That factors into being good. Okay,
yeah,
so
he's not as athletic as the
I
other
didn't
2.
honestly. I'll be honest with you. I flip-flopped on LeVar Ball. At first, he got on my damn nerves. I for real. I couldn't deal with him because it was like Gabe said, it was all that chest thumping and me. It's supposed to be about your boys, but it seems like it's about you. And I get it. But the more and more I thought about it, he was involved in them boys' lives. Okay. And he was trying to promote his kids and trying to get them, to the highest level. And I respect that. Because a lot of dads may not do that. A lot of men may not do that. A lot of moms may not do that. So I respect the fact that he put so much effort and attention into his boys and the drive to get them to be the best they could possibly be. So I respect the hell out of him for that. I do. I'm not with all of that. I ought to beat Michael Jordan in 1-on-1, or I would have done this or done that. I ain't with all that. Okay, but I do respect him as a father myself for what he did to get his boys where they are. Because like Gabe said, he got them to the highest level. They're in the league. Okay, obviously one's doing better than the other at the moment, but he got him. But his goal is reached. He got them both in the league. But my problem with a lot of this rating system and these kids being graded a certain way in the 5th, 6th, 7th grade is one thing I've always said and I've coached my son, he'll be 13 in a couple of days. I've coached him since he was 5 years old. I always said, I'll never live vicariously through my kid. I played sports my entire life. Okay. But I'm not going to live vicariously through my kid. I'm going to let him be a kid. I'm going to teach him what he needs to know. I'm going to drive him when he needs to be driven. But guess what? After that, I'm not Tom Marinovich's dad. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
okay, I'm not doing that. Because guess what? That kid's going to grow up. He's going to be a husband. He's going to be a father. And that could be a detriment to him in his personal life, maybe down the line. Okay, so those are also things you have to think about. All right, Giff, I'm going to let you wrap this up, man.
So yeah, man. Like I said before, I get like people want to be able to evaluate, and it's like how Gabe said, they want to go ahead and put down the stake and say I was here first. But I mean, like I said, ninth grade, that after their first freshman season, that's the perfect time to start evaluating. Anytime before that, that's just a waste of time.
Their first freshman season, what'd you do? Fail ninth grade or something?
Hey, there's some schools back in the day that used to do that.
Yeah, I
We
know.
ain't gonna call no names.
Yeah. No, I got you. I got you. But anyway, everybody's excited now because the Super Bowl is coming up on Sunday. But the NFL, everybody knows the NFL business don't stop. It's a continuous moving train. And one of the big things that just happened here recently was the Detroit Lions trading Matthew Stafford to the LA Rams for Jared Goff and some picks. So thrilled. You're I think you're a Detroit fan. No, you're an Indy fan. I'm sorry, looking at the jersey wrong. But anyway, whatever, man.
Whoa. You ain't gonna skip it. No, you're right. Go ahead. All right. I ain't gonna go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hey, before we get to that quick, that's a good transition because somebody that I heard about from the time he was in the 10th grade, how hot he was gonna be.
Matthew Stafford.
John Matthew Stafford. He was gonna be the greatest quarterback you ever seen.
Oh, here we
That's gonna be the truth.
Here we go.
He gonna be the man.
Here we go.
He gonna be the
Here
man.
we go.
He gonna be the man.
So
And that man still passing NFL checks. He's still passing NFL checks.
So I was looking, and there was talk of Stafford coming to Indy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, there was talk of Stafford coming to Indy. Now you're talking about a quarterback who has played for an organization that is notorious.
Bum ass organization.
Right. A notorious losing organization.
Ruin Hall of Fame career.
Right. So who was it? I want to say it was Randy Moss who said that some organizations actually want to play for championships and other organizations just want to sell tickets and make money. Detroit has shown you that all they want to do is make money. They have no interest in surrounding their talent to make playoff push. Now, I'm not saying Matthew Stafford is a potential Hall of Famer, but this is a quarterback who has thrown for over 21,000 yards in the league, who has shown you that he will play hurt, that he doesn't hold out of camp. He comes to play and shows up every week.
Through what quarterback holds out?
Well, hey, we got one that's going to be holding out soon, but we'll talk.
So we gonna hold out. We don't know. Quarterback ain't got to hold out.
Yeah,
he ain't have to hold out. But continue your point, sir. Continue your point, sir.
So thank you, sir. So, but man, I can't fault this man for wanting out and away from, like Gabe said, that bum ass organization. Now, you ran Barry Sanders out the league. Barry Sanders is a top 10 running back.
Top 10, top 3.
Top 10.
What you talking about, man? Top 3.
Don't disrespect him like that.
Yeah, don't
Gabe, we didn't have that conversation before.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Barry Sanders don't make my top 5.
Man, what's wrong with you?
Don't do that.
Wait.
Barry Sanders,
if
you already know the story. Barry Sanders couldn't catch. Barry Sanders couldn't block. Barry Sanders couldn't get you no short yardage.
Bro, time out.
Barry Sanders came out the game on the goal line.
Let me stop you right there. Who is your top 5 who's your top 5 running backs right now?
Walter Payton.
Okay.
Jim Brown.
If you say that motherfucker from Dallas, I will come through this goddamn computer.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Go ahead.
Marshall Faulk.
Okay, I got to stop you. No.
O.J. Simpson.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. And Earl Campbell.
Hey man, go on, stop the recording, man. Stop the recording.
I can't argue with him.
Come on,
I
man.
can't argue with him. I can't
Stop
argue
the
with him. You can't argue with that
recording, man.
list.
Who you taking off my
You
list?
can't argue with
Who
that
you taking
list.
off my list?
Okay,
Who you
all right,
taking off?
I'm gonna give you my list
Nobody.
right now.
How many passes Jim Brown kicked? How many passes Jim Brown kicked?
Exactly.
Different era.
How many passes Earl Campbell kicked?
Different era.
No. You judge Barry Sanders on the fact that he couldn't catch. How many passes did Earl Campbell kick?
In that era, he did not catch, he did not block, and he was not your short yardage runner. Now the rest of them, 3rd and 2, they're gonna get you 3 yards. 3rd and 2, you giving it to Barry? I don't want to hear none of the bullshit in between. It's a yes or no question.
Yeah,
3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, are you giving it to Barry Sanders?
Yes.
Yes, I'm picking up 25.
Shit, you out your goddamn mind.
And I'm picking up 25.
You out your goddamn mind.
Thrill. Let me explain something to you, bro. Okay.
Explain it to me.
Out of that list,
How much damn Tito you got in that damn Mason jar?
First of all, don't worry about what's in my cup. It's my cup.
All right, Weezy. All right, Weezy.
Now we done got off topic. Now we talking about Stafford.
Yeah, I know, but you done pissed me off with that list. That's a bullshit list you got going there.
Man, what? Who you taking off the list? Who you taking off?
This is my top 5. In no order, no particular order. My top 5: Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson. I'll throw Earl in there, even though I was kind of on the fence with him. Earl Campbell and Walter Payton.
Is one of the greatest running backs of all time, but he is not top 5. Where do y'all keep getting this nigga from?
And Walter Payton.
I don't understand. How is that ever in the top 5?
Wait. Jim Brown, Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, Walter Payton, and no, I ain't gonna say it because I know Gabe gonna lose his damn mind.
Gabe, well, first of all, Gabe didn't accuse Barry Sanders' numbers of being fraudulent.
No, Emmitt Smith numbers.
Emmitt Smith numbers. I'm sorry.
And I'm gonna throw.
numbers.
I'm gonna throw in there. I'm gonna throw LaDainian Tomlinson in there. LaDainian Tomlinson.
I can see that. I can see AP making that list too.
Who's your list, Gabe?
My list. Walter Payton.
Okay.
Jim Brown.
Okay.
Barry Sanders.
Okay.
Dickerson. I can go with Dickerson, but I like Falk better. I like Falk better because of his versatility.
Okay.
And then my 5th one, I would go with.
If you say Roger Craig, I'm gonna put my hands on you.
Man, you better not mention that dude. He ain't even in the Hall of Fame.
Hold up now. Hold up. I wasn't gonna mention Roger Craig.
He ain't in the Hall of Fame, bro. How you
I said I was not going to mention Roger Craig. That's really ass talking about Roger Craig. Now, I will say I'm a fan of Roger Craig. I love his style. And I think he was the first. I think he was the first running back to catch over 1,000 yards in a season.
Well, he was, yeah. He's the first Marshall Falk, yeah.
Yeah, he was the first back out the backfield to have 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah, he was.
So you can't discount that. But I'm not going to put him in my top 5.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to put him in my top 5. But on that 5th, because I like my backs versatile, I'm going to go. I hate to say this nigga name. God damn. I'll probably go. I ain't gonna even say his name. And I can't say him. I was in Dallas when he was running for all those padded stats. I'm gonna go Marcus Allen.
I was thinking about Marcus Allen. I actually was. But he had that little stretch in there in the middle so that's why I went with LaDainian Tomlinson.
He should have kept his hands off the owner's daughter.
Yeah. But anyway, to get back on topic, Giff, I just want to know, why do you hate Stafford so much, man?
Listen, man, y'all got this thing confused. All right.
I don't break it down to us.
Okay. I just don't understand how he slid through his whole career unscathed about anything but underachieving. This dude, he was from the time he was in 10th grade, he would have been a first round draft pick, right? He came to UGA. I wasn't wild by it. I still say David Green was a better quarterback than him that UGA ever had.
Are you serious?
Let me finish. You gonna let me talk?
Go ahead.
You gonna let me talk? Listen,
Go ahead.
Let me finish. The time that he was at UGA, he was never the best quarterback in the league, in the conference. That was that fullback down there in Gainesville playing quarterback. Tebow. Tebow was the best quarterback in the conference the whole time Stafford was there.
I agree.
2009, we got the #1 team in America. I remember that cover to this day. No Sean Marino, Matt Stafford, and Dane Ellerby on the front cover. UGA, #1 team in the country. We was on the road. So that team from Alabama came and demolished us in them ugly black jerseys, man.
And skull drug y'all that night, boy.
We got drugged, right? Stafford left, #1 overall draft pick, going to Detroit line with Calvin Johnson. That dude has underachieved. He got all the tools, right? He got the size. He got everything you want, but it just don't come together. And you say what you want.
So you don't blame him for a organization underachieved.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Cam Newton came under more scrutiny, caught more flack in his career than that dude has. Lamar Jackson, in the 3 years he's been in the league, has caught more flack and had more stuff about his career challenge than Stafford has ever faced. Y'all forget, we see Stafford play every year at Thanksgiving. Thrill. Me and you used to talk about Matt Stafford. I said the thing about him, he got a curse. He got a big arm, and he wants to jump it 80 yards every
curse
play.
of the big arm. Yeah, curse of the big arm.
That's not what you got to do.
Curse of the big arm.
That dude played 11 years in the league. He is not about to change. He got 1 Pro Bowl under his name. 11 years, 3 playoff appearances, 0 playoff appearances. Ain't no other quarterback go #1 overall and get unscathed like he has. Tell me, people didn't put Cam feet to the fire more than they did Matt Stafford.
Cam didn't bring a lot of that on himself.
Cam came into the league with all that pressure. I'm not talking about that, but he performed. Stafford never performed. He was #1 draft pick, just like Stafford was #1 overall draft pick. Go look at that career.
But Giff, what's the one thing?
Let me say this. I'm gonna say this right quick. I'm gonna get back to you.
We done got Giff worked up today.
He going to the Rams. Everybody talking about all these weapons and all this and that. All the receivers are talented he got. Ain't none of them dudes Calvin Johnson. That dude had Calvin Johnson and got nothing to show for it. Except
he didn't have nobody else but
Calvin
Calvin Johnson.
4,000 yards thing that everybody's impressed with. Every quarterback over 4,000 yards these days. Blake Bortles got a 4,000 yard season. Ryan Tannehill got a 4,000 yard season. Kirk Cousins got a couple of them. So this ain't 1980 when Dan Marino was throwing for 4,000 yards. You can't touch a receiver. You can't touch a quarterback. You breathe on the quarterback, they throwing you out the game. So he out there playing flag out there. So all this dude did was pad stats. That's all he did. He looked the part. He played the part. Go watch them Lions games and watch Detroit going down the field and watch Stafford throw that untimely interception they don't need. Because I want to trust my big arm.
Football is the ultimate team sport.
Yes,
ultimate team sport. Detroit never had a defense behind Stafford. When he had Calvin Johnson, Calvin was all he had. He didn't have a running game. Man, it's easy. And I'm with you. The quarterback's supposed to catch the hell, and you're right. Stafford has gone pretty unscathed.
Giff, the one year.
What are y'all talking about? It's
Exactly, Gabe.
It's Detroit. There are no expectations in Detroit.
That's why he went #1. He's supposed to make a difference.
The one year
he walked in the door day one. Calvin Johnson already there. They didn't have to go get Calvin Johnson. Okay. Calvin Johnson was already there.
How many coaches?
He had a good rapport with Calvin Johnson.
How many coaches?
Calvin Johnson. He Calvin Johnson in triple coverage.
Calvin Johnson didn't leave because of Stafford.
No, I ain't saying that. I'm saying he had a phenomenal generational talent out there on the outside.
He's utilizing.
phenomenal, Hall of Fame worthy. And
So I
you
guess
got
Calvin Johnson got his touches though.
Calvin Johnson
Calvin
and
Johnson
Matthew
got his
Stafford
touches.
play defense. They supposed to go out there and stop somebody too.
Gabe, I mean, quick, what's your question? You said how many coaches he had?
No. Actually, I was going to make a statement here.
Okay.
In his entire time in the league, Matthew Stafford has been a part of the Detroit Lions that had one, I think, top 15 or top 10 defense his entire career. You want to know what his record was that year? He was 11-5, and they made the playoffs. Okay, he don't have a support system, dude. Calvin Johnson was gone. How many coaches has he gone through in the 11 years he's been with the Lions?
This is what, let's see. Okay, he had Schwartz.
Jim Caldwell.
He had Caldwell.
Matt
And he had
Patricia.
Patricia. Now, in between there, I'm going to say this. The one coach that he had that came in there and wasn't amazing his physical tools, that wanted to coach him was Jim Caldwell.
Exactly.
Well,
And what did he do? What did
wait, let me finish. Quick, let me finish. Schwartz was a defensive guy. Patricia, defensive guy. Caldwell came in there and broke down every throw that Stafford had and broke down what he was doing right, what he was doing wrong. The last year that Caldwell was there, the other Lions idiots, they fired him. But I hear Matt Stafford come out here one time and defend that man. Because y'all got to remember, it was a couple games. Stafford wasn't doing what he's supposed to do. And what happened? Caldwell yanked him. But that dude, they say Detroit, 9-7 ain't good enough. And I'm like, 9-7, it don't matter. Matt Stafford's still your quarterback. He ain't gonna get you over that hump. They bought in Patricia. We won 9 games in 3 years.
He's going to a team that's got established defense now, so we're gonna see what he can do with a defense behind him. And he got some toys to play with out there.
How many times did Matt Stafford come out and support Matt Patricia? He didn't. He never did.
He didn't support Caldwell either. Caldwell, he had the most success on the Caldwell, but he had nothing to say.
Okay, listen. Has Matt Stafford underachieved? Yeah, some of this is on him. But I'm with Gabe, I'm with Gabe and I'm with Thrill on this. His organization has not done him any favors. He utilized the hell out of Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson has an NFL record for most receiving yards in a season because he had Matt Stafford throwing in the ball. So he utilized him, but everybody else was garbage.
And Calvin's still going to sneak in with them numbers. He's still going to get into the Hall of Fame with them numbers.
Cam Newton got to the Super Bowl with Ted Ginn as his number 1 receiver.
Better organization, dude.
Better defense.
I'm going to say this real quick. If they don't win the Super Bowl, that trade was a wash. Because at minimum, they got that out. They got that out of Jared Goff. Jared Goff got more playoff wins than Matt Stafford. And the reason why I say all that, I know Stafford's a better quarterback. But what I'm telling y'all is the tools don't match the level of play. I'm telling you, right now, everybody feels, Poe Matt. We gonna see now. And I say this. We about to see.
Yeah, we're gonna see.
If you look at that, if you look at the NFC West right now, will we say he's a better quarterback than Kyler Murray?
Hell yeah.
In the NFC West, hell yeah. Kyler Murray. Yeah, that little goddamn midget they got out there in Phoenix.
See, there you go. You went right to the physical. You ain't said nothing about on the field play. You went right to that man's size. Stafford look everything like you want a quarterback. That don't do better than that dude. He is what he is.
The question you asked, is he a better quarterback? You didn't say if he's a better athlete. You say, is he a better quarterback? Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray.
He is. He's a better quarterback.
We'll find out next year. I'm so anticipating the NFL season. I'm so ready. Because y'all finna see him. Y'all gonna see him in prime time. He ain't in Detroit in them games we don't never get to see with the highlights.
I know, right?
What he made of.
Only person in the pub that watched them games is Bailey.
See, the problem is, and it ain't your fault, Giff, but I see a lot of people. No, it ain't your fault. I see a lot of people in the sports media doing this. They want to quantify and they want to equate how great of a quarterback you are with the team's overall success. And in my opinion,
what measurable would you use?
No, I agree that that's part of it. Okay, but what I'm saying is that's not the only criteria. You can go out there and throw for 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 5 picks, and still miss the playoffs. If the rest of your team is garbage, that's what you're gonna be doing. Look what Tom Brady did last year. He didn't have a great season by his standard, but he went like 28, 29 touchdowns, 7 or 8 interceptions, had a steady year, threw for about 4,000, 4,000 yards, 3,500, 4,000 yards. Okay, they got bumped in the first round of the playoffs. Okay, but it wasn't his fault that they got knocked out. They didn't have no weapons around him. So
that's
what I'm saying is,
that's not the same thing. I'm gonna tell you why. Brady got a legacy. We ain't gotta look at Brady's numbers. The first time somebody talk about Matt Stafford, you question anything about him. The first thing everybody want to do is throw numbers in your face because that's all he got.
But look at the organization.
Last year.
Look at the organization. Detroit's organization has been shit ever since we were growing up. We've been watching Detroit on Thanksgiving every year, and they suck every year.
Well, did y'all see Stafford on the field then? Because he messing up too.
But Barry Sanders was the best running back in the league for, 5-6 years running. He couldn't even get to the damn playoffs.
Bullshit.
Whatever.
Hey, I'm gonna say this right here. The Lions are setting themselves up for the future. I don't know what this new front office gonna do, but I'll say this. Let me finish.
Okay.
Still the Lions.
Let me finish. Goff ain't the answer at quarterback. Detroit is fully aware of that. He's a stopgap. Okay. But they got 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick. And they're gonna get what they want. And they got a high draft pick this year. So the future's ready, baby. They're not worried about this. But Stafford, it's just like how this in sports, right? We remember before the Bulls brought in Phil Jackson, they had Doug Collins. Doug Collins got him right there, but he can never move to that next level. Roll him out. So with Stafford, the same thing. Goff ain't gonna get him there. They know that. This is a stopgap. All I'm telling y'all is, if the Rams don't win a Super Bowl next year, which they won't, that trade was nothing.
So they got to win it next year.
Let me ask you a question, Giff. Does Matt Stafford?
So he got to win a Super Bowl in his first season in a new system.
The system is going to be curtailed to him. You think Sean McVay, the genius that he is, he ain't going to come here and make sure they do what Stafford need to be done?
Giff, I think Stafford got pictures of you or something we don't know about.
No, he just underperformed while he played for my Bulldogs.
Yeah.
That was bad coach. I know he did underperform, but that was bad coaching too.
Hey, all I'm saying is that fullback in Gainesville.
Yeah, I know.
All comforts the whole time Stafford was there.
Now you talking about a quarterback I couldn't stand, boy.
Yeah, I couldn't stand him either, and I still can't.
Hey,
let's move on. Let's move on.
I've never been so happy to see a kid graduate.
I know that's right, boy.
I was so happy when he graduated.
Look here, man. One thing we're not going to do on the sports pub, we are not talking about Tim Tebow. We're not doing it.
No, sir.
You're not doing it.
Hey, how bad is for Matt Stafford? That a dude that couldn't play in the NFL?
Giff, come on, man.
We're
not talking about that dude, man.
All right, man.
All right. So we gonna switch the subject now. We go. So Gabe, what's up? How you feel about the NBA season so far, bro?
Oh man, I'm kind of got mixed emotions about the NBA.
Why?
Because basically coming out of that bubble and the way that the teams played that made the playoffs, I'm kind of disappointed in some of their records so far this season. I know the fans aren't in the stands, but they're playing on their home arenas. But I'm a little disappointed in teams like Miami, Dallas. I thought Dallas was ready to turn that corner, but they done got into a funk, and I think they done lost like 6 or 7 in a row.
Yeah,
and dropped down.
They won last night,
okay, yeah, they won last night. So it's just some surprises that's going on in the league right now. Like I'm looking at the standings, and the East is going to be pretty much what I thought it was. You know, you got your 76ers, you got your Bucks. Of course, the Nets are right there. You know, they retooled their lineup. They're playing some decent basketball. You know, the Knicks had gotten hot for a minute, but they done kind of fell back a little bit. And now they're battling with Charlotte for that 8th spot. But the West to me is just, I mean, right now, Utah, with that addition of Mike Conley, is just really playing some good ball. And Dan Snyder really has those guys believing in what they're doing. The Clippers are right there. Of course, LA is going to do his thing, you know, with them taking nights off and getting rest and whatnot. But my surprise right now is how well Chris Paul has got the Phoenix Suns playing in the West.
Right.
I didn't see them being meshing that well right now. They're in the 6th seed right now, and I know it's still early, but I can see them actually competing for a top 4 playoff seed. So what y'all think about the NBA so far?
Hey, Gabe, I'm just going to say about the Jazz, Shaq did that.
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
How did Shaq do that? Shaq
I'm being facetious, man. I'm just being facetious. But no, man, it has been crazy. Like, for real, like Utah really surprised me, because after Gobert and Conley and Mitchell, I didn't think none of them dudes gonna be able to get them anything. But they really are, like, they playing really, really well together. And like you said, hey man, Quinn Snyder got them boys doing it. Hey man, I'm surprised you overlooked my Hawks, man.
Oh my God.
What?
Well, hey, I think the Hawks are going to go as far as Trae Young with Tokyo. Right now, I mean, the young man he's playing outside of his mind. I mean, I seen the kid the other night. He took 3 steps over half court and let it go.
Yeah,
I think you can get away with that on certain nights, but as you get closer to that playoff push and things start to tighten up defensively, those shots are not going to be there.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to make sure other folks are getting involved. I like the style of play that they're playing. They're very up and down. They're very energetic. It kind of reminds me of a D'Antoni type system. And with, you know, well, of course, scoring is up across the league. I mean, right now you got you got regulation games in the 140s. Both teams in the 140s. I mean, back in my day, a regulation game would probably be in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, high 90s, in the low 100s. But now you're talking about both teams, non-regulation, no overtime, being in the 140s. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this about the NBA. I've been impressed with the Jazz. I think right now Quinn Snyder is probably a front runner for Coach of the Year. I mean, he got them boys playing. But the one thing about the NBA that's kind of bothers me is, and Gabe, you just kind of touched on it a little bit, the lack of defense. Just the lack of defense, man. I get it. The NBA season is a marathon. It ain't a sprint, so I get it. But growing up, and I'm old school, you know, we you know, 3 of us old school. Gabe, you know, Giff is younger than us. But I grew up in an era where they played defense like every night. Like every night, them old Knicks Bulls games, them Knicks Pistons games, the Celtics, and you know, and again, I know those days are gone. The rules have changed. The 3-point line is more prevalent, and I'm cool with it. I enjoy it. Steph Curry
grew up at
Steph Curry.
Daniel choked somebody and didn't get thrown out the game.
No, I mean, like Steph Curry is probably my favorite player in the league because I enjoy the way he plays the game. So again, I understand it, and I got no problem with that. I just think that, you know, some of the, and maybe it's maybe a lot of it has to do with a lot of these guys that played with each other at some level before, maybe at the AAU level, maybe some of them played with each other in college or whatever. But it just seems like, you know, but again, I'll say this. It does seem like there's a little bit more beef going on right now between NBA players than it used to be. You know, I don't know if you saw Jared Dudley going at Paul George and, and some of the other stuff that's going on. So I think that's going to make the season a little bit more interesting. But the one thing I will say about the NBA, you kind of applaud it, is there's a lot more parity right now than it used to be. Okay, again, everybody last year, you know, either had the Clippers or the Lakers, and possibly the Bucks going to the finals. And usually every year there's about 5 or 6 teams you say that team can go to the finals. And right now, if I had to put money on it, I'd say probably going to be the Lakers in the West and the Brooklyn Nets in the East. Just if I had to put a bet down right now. But again, you look at the Clippers, you look at the Utah Jazz. Like Gabe said, I thought Dallas was going to be better. They disappointed me. Miami, I ain't going to throw in there because they've been hit hard by COVID. So they had a lot of injuries and a lot of COVID-related issues. But I don't know. I'm just not really – I don't know. I'm not really into the NBA season like I used to be. And I think a lot of it is wake me up when the playoffs get here, because that's when the real basketball is played. That's all I'm saying. That 150 to 148 score don't do nothing for me. It just don't.
Hey, man, speak for yourself, because let me tell you an interesting fact about the Hawks. Atlanta made the playoffs when I was in the 6th grade.
We wasn't talking about the Hawks, man.
Let me finish. The Hawks made the playoffs when I was in the 6th grade. They didn't make it again until I was on my first deployment in Iraq in 08.
And that's what
What's your point?
Yeah, that's why this conversation should end like right now, because you just said that.
Listen, man, all I'm saying is the Hawks are winning. They got a chance to be in the playoffs. I'm all ears and I'm all eyeballs.
All right, I'll say that. Well, first of all, the Hawks ain't going to sniff the playoffs. It's just not going to happen. But to talk about what I think about this NBA season, Gabe, you touched on Phoenix playing well. Now, Chris Paul is going to bring that stability to an organization initially before his personality and how he is start grating on their nerves. So Booker dealing with it now. So they better make the best that they can out of it this year before Chris Paul start really Chris Pauling and pissing everybody off like he has known to do at every stop he's been in the NBA. Now, you talked about my man Conley. Now, we've been talking about Conley being a great glue guy since we watched him torch Chris Paul that year he was in Memphis. And that was one of the most quality ass kickings I saw somebody get in a playoff series. He let Chris Paul have it that whole series. So I'm not surprised at Conley. The only issue that you got with Conley is can he stay healthy? Utah this year is that team that you worry about. You definitely don't want to see them early. You definitely don't want to catch them in that second round. So you're trying to avoid them if you can. Yeah. But one of the LA squads going to get them in the second round. Yeah. One of them going to have to see them in the second round. Yeah. So they're going to take the Go ahead.
Speaking of NBA, okay, I know y'all saw it earlier this week. And I'm going to ask you, Thrill, because I know you got strong feelings about this. How do you feel about the fan-player interactions that go on? Because I know that was a big topic of conversation this week, all in sports media. And I just, what do you think?
So last week, they called courtside Karen. This broad cussed out LeBron. Cussed out LeBron because she said her husband and LeBron was going back and forth. Now, Charles Barkley said it best some years ago. Just because you spend a lot of he actually made a smart comment. Okay. Just because you spent a lot of money, I know. Just because you spend a lot of money, don't give you the right to talk to them people any kind of way. And I'm talking about the players. Now, look here. Hey, I'm a fan. I've been to professional sport nowadays and I boo, I cheer, I scream. But what I'm not going to do is make it personal.
Right.
because that's not what it's about. Now, look, I don't care. I think Giff had said something about it a while back about how you talk to somebody. Now, we all military. At the end of the day, and me and Giff had this conversation before because I had to stop Giff from losing his religion on somebody that was talking crazy. At the end of the day, and the dude outranked Giff at the time, but at the end of the day, you understand, I'm a man first.
Yeah.
And I'm a man with kids. Some of these players got wives and whatnot. Man, you're not going to be talking crazy to these cats and expect these people to not respond. Now, I'm not saying that you fly off the handle like Westbrook will. Westbrook told that lady, I'll F you up, you and your husband. I said,
everything I love.
Whoa, Russ. I don't know if you want to say that to her.
I know he like, say something else.
Yeah.
Say something else. And I swear for God.
Yeah.
On everything I love.
Right.
Everything
I love. So I think that we let them fans get away with too much, especially in the NBA. Now, the NFL, you're not going to hear it too much until they're walking out the tunnel. And it's been a couple times that them NFL players that stopped.
Yeah.
They got stopped going up in them stands after them cats. Baseball players too.
Yeah.
So I think security is doing a decent job, but they could do a better job of protecting the players from the verbal abuse. And then they want to play the victim when this 6'8", 250-pound brother lets you know that I slap the shit out of you for you running your mouth the way you running your mouth.
I agree.
Am I wrong, fellas?
No, you're right. Hey, all I gotta say is the malice at the palace, dog.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
I know people may not think that way, but I'm like you said, hey man, them dudes out there grown men. Grown men, like, man, you can't be talking crazy to people like that. And then when we're talking about some LeBron, I'll mess you up. I'm like, come on, man, sit down now. What you what? 5'2"? That man can't run over there and hit you. A 6'8" black man hit a white woman. Come on, man.
Well, I think part of the problem right now too is now again, this has been going on, so it's not like anything new. But the fact that they don't have, because of COVID and the protocols and whatnot, they don't have a lot of people in the arenas and the stands and whatever. Yeah. So you can hear everything now.
Right.
Whereas before you might not be able to hear certain things. And so I think that's part of the problem too. But the NBA or the stadium or the arena security or something, they did kick him out. And LeBron did take the high road and say, well, I don't think they should have kicked him out. However, they need to do, I think that, they're doing a decent enough job, but they need to come down on them folks. If you out there heckling NBA players or NFL players or MLB players, whatever, if you're out there heckling players, and it's within earshot, and it's something that is not consumable for everybody else. They need to ban you from the damn arena, and you don't come back.
Yeah.
Period. That's what they need to start doing.
Speak on it, Gabe.
I agree with everything y'all said. I mean, for the most part, they're grown men, and for me personally, I'm not gonna have my wife taken up for me.
Oh no!
In that situation. Yeah, I'm probably gonna tell her, "Hey, you need to be quiet. Let me handle it."
Yeah, for real.
So all that could have been squashed to begin with, but
you got me out here looking bad. Would you say, Giff, it ain't never good when your wife or your mama got to stick up for you?
Never good.
Never good.
So I agree with what Thrill said, and it just needs to be a little bit more beefed up security, especially for those fans that's on that front row. I know they paid a lot of money for those seats, but if I paid that amount of money, I'm definitely not going to do anything that's going to probably get me tossed up out of here.
Correct.
Where I'm losing money. So,
well, that's like Reggie Miller said on that 30 for 30 when he was talking about when they had the 30 for 30 winning time. The Knicks and the Pacers, that little rivalry they had back in the mid-90s. Mm-hmm. And Spike Lee was coming at him. Okay. And Reggie Miller said, okay, you spent a lot of money for them seats. Okay. And you bumping them damn gums. Understand, you're gonna be part of the game now. Okay, so I'm gonna go back at you. Okay, and obviously I can't come over there and get into a physical altercation with you. but I can bust your team's ass over here because you over there running your, over there jaw jacking. So I mean, like I said, them grown men, they make millions of dollars. We don't go. Nobody going to your workplace yelling at you and start. Come on. You work at CVS. Ain't nobody coming up in there yelling at you. So don't be out here, yelling at damn professional athletes because you think you're entitled because you got front row seats to these games, man. So yeah, I agree. Yeah. Hey, before we close out for the night, man, we want to give a couple of shout outs. First shout out I want to give to my nephew Darius Reeves. Yeah, I love you, Darius. And Darius is responsible for the artwork you see behind each one of us, the Sports Pub artwork. And as you can see, he did an incredible job. He's a student and lives in Kansas right now. He's a college student, and I'm so proud of him and all the work that he's been doing. And if anybody who views this or watches this, you need some logos done, or professional artwork, or anything like that done, please reach out to me, and I'll make sure I put you two in contact. But I just want to send a shout out to him. We've done 5. This is our 6th episode, and I hadn't got a chance to actually mention his name. But like I said, he's an incredible young man, and I love him. And I know Giff has somebody he wants to shout out with the intro and outro music we have. Go ahead, Giff.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my man, Don Buchanan back in Douglas, Georgia. Big Boy Beats. Man, we started this show. We need some music to get us going. And, hey, man, he came through clutch with the beat. I gave him a sample of what we wanted, and he hooked it up, man. So if y'all need any beats, Big Boy Beats, Don Buchanan out of Douglas, Georgia. He your man.
Strong work, fella.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. And also, finally, last thing I want to say, happy 15th anniversary to my baby, my wife, Miss Kelly Reeves. Thank you, baby, for sticking with me. Thank you, baby, for sticking with me for 15 years. I mean, you make me who I am, and I love you. And thank you for always supporting not only this, but everything I've ever done. Anybody you guys want to shout out? Thrill, Gabe?
I want to thank y'all for being consistently decent background noise while I'm spitting these sports
Lord.
facts that the world needs to hear. And I thank y'all. No, man, first of all jokes aside, man, I love doing this with y'all. It's been a nice break during the week. I look forward to it. Through the miracles of modern technology, getting a chance to see y'all and holler at y'all, and not just on Facebook in the pub. Hey, I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate everybody that watches.
Yeah. Most definitely. All the followers and subscribers, this one's for you.
All right, fellas, y'all be easy. Until next week. Oh, before we leave, last thing. I'm gonna start with you, Thrill, since you first on my screen. Who you got for the Super Bowl?
Man, boy, we talked in the production meeting beforehand, and I told you I hadn't picked one yet. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay and the 3 points. So I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All right, Gabe, who you got, baby?
Give me Kansas City by 10.
Okay. Who you got, Giff?
I got that boy Tyreek Hill and his crew of Chiefs.
Homer.
By 7.
Homer.
Right. Hey, man, Coffee County, we got to represent.
You right. You got to rep the hometown, baby. You right.
That's right.
All right, I'm going with the slight upset. I'm going with Tampa Bay, last minute field goal. Every time Brady's in the Super Bowl, they win on a last minute field goal or a close game. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay by 3.
So I'm gonna put this
doing in the pub?
We'll ask. We'll get with Dez. Dez is our resident bookie.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. If Tom get this 7th one, I don't want to hear nothing about him being the GOAT. It ain't open for discussion.
It ain't open for discussion now.
It ain't open for discussion now.
It's done.
Yeah.
Y'all go to my Facebook page and see that epiphany I told y'all about the Isaac brothers.
I already told you. I already reported on that. We've had that conversation numerous times. Ain't nobody's catalog touching the eyes.
All right, fellas. man.
All right, y'all.